engineer with I'm a recent PhD in engineering.
Okay.
I'm a chemical engineer by training, both my bachelor's and master's. I also have an expertise in material science and characterization. That's what my PhD has been of.
Okay.
And I am looking for full-time opportunities starting 9th October.
So you are graduated already, I believe, right?
Yeah, I've already graduated. I just defended recently in
Oh,
August.
in August. Okay.
Mhm.
And what's your location?
I stay in San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, you're in Bay Area. Okay.
Mhm.
So you're looking for something over there or anywhere? It doesn't matter.
Preferably in the Bay Area,
Oh, okay.
but anywhere I'm open for relocation.
Okay. So let me ask you one question.
Mhm.
Did you look for postdoc options or no?
Postdoc options, I started looking
Uh-huh.
recently
Mm-hmm.
in starting August because most of my papers got published only recently.
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking for postdocs.
Okay.
I've also applied to a couple of positions, but I've not been getting.
Right, right, right. I mean, the situation right now is very absurd, but
Mm.
what I'm saying is, how is what's the process that you followed when you apply for postdoc positions?
So I found out I looked for in the West Coast typically.
Hmm.
Uh, I looked for openings on the university website and then I
Okay,
sent an email to the professor.
okay. Did you talk to your professor, your advisor, or no?
Yeah, I did talk to my advisor, but some of her positions that she mentioned were more on the East Coast.
Okay, and
And
but you're
because of
looking. Okay, okay,
personal
but
constraints, I'm like looking
yeah,
for
yeah,
in the
yeah.
West
Okay,
Coast.
understand. Okay, okay. And I have your CV over here. Is there something that you felt? So what? Let me ask you this question.
Mm.
If you can name a couple of industries and the position that is in your area, what will be those?
So, couple of industries is pharma, biotech,
Okay, okay.
polymers, and material science.
Polymers.
That's
Okay.
my niche, and material characterization scientist.
Material character. Okay.
Yeah.
So you do mostly like chemical characterization, or it's what type of characterization it is? Is it like a
All
mechanical?
electron microscope,
Okay, okay.
chemical spectroscopic techniques,
Okay, okay.
thermal analysis.
Common analysis. Okay. Because one thing I'm thinking is, I know you have a personal constraint. Let me ask you this thing. Do you have, let's say, if you're not able to find a job or something, would you have to go through the visa problem, or you are okay with that?
I will have to, then I'll have to go on a dependent visa
Yeah,
because I'm
yeah, okay.
married.
Right, right,
Then
okay. But you don't have to leave country or things like that.
I don't have to leave the country, but then again, going on a dependent visa is again like sitting at
Yeah,
home
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah. And you don't want that, right? For sure.
right.
Right.
But I'm okay, open to relocation at this point. It's not that.
Yeah. I mean, my advice to you would be is, especially for postdoc positions, let me tell you. I mean, if you look at the pharma industry, most of the pharma industry actually is in East Coast. Nothing is in the West
Mm.
Coast, right? Just in case of pharma, right?
Right.
And as far as the polymer and all this industry are concerned, I mean, I know because I live in Akron, Ohio. This area is huge in polymers,
Hmm.
especially the industries and things like that are over here. I'm not sure what is the scenario in the West Coast for the polymer-based industry, but just talking to you, I would definitely advise you, especially for postdocs. And the reason why I say postdoc, I does your husband, he has a green card or he is
No,
an
he's on
H1?
an H1B.
H1B.
Mm.
What is the chances for him to get a green card?
So
You
he
know?
is on an EB3 wait list, which is going to
Okay,
take
okay.
up more time.
Right. So my sincere advice to you in that case would be is, I personally think you should go for a postdoc and apply for green card as soon as possible because he's not going to get
Okay.
green card.
Right.
and you have a PhD, you have better chances. So
Okay.
even though you may have to stay apart for a while, but it may
Hmm.
be worth for a long term.
Okay.
And the reason I tell you is, as an Indian, the only way you can get a green card is if you have a PhD. There is no other way,
Right.
right? And I don't know about your resume, your citations and all that. I think one thing you should do right away is talk to a immigration lawyer
Okay.
and talk to him about, okay, this is my resume, this is my citations, these are my publications, what are my chances?
Okay.
See, here's the thing, if you are both planning to stay in US for long term and not thinking of going back to India,
India. Right.
okay, if that is the case, my sincere advice to you is use your PhD to get a green card. Don't worry about what's going to happen next 6 months or so, because the
Okay.
biggest challenge is what's going to happen for next 10 years, 20 years.
Okay.
And the reason I say so is because longer you're going to wait, your
Hmm.
PhD will be of no use.
Right.
Do you understand my point?
Correct.
Yeah, so that would be the first thing you want to do. And to do that, don't worry about whether you get a postdoc in East Coast or West Coast. Take it. And the reason why
Okay.
I'm saying is because when you going to be in postdoc, that's where you will be able to you know get your application out and so forth. I did that
Okay.
for myself.
Okay.
So I when I finished my PhD, I was a postdoc at Oak Ridge National Lab,
Okay.
and I applied for my green card. I got in 6 months.
Okay.
So my advice to you would be, even though you have to stay away for
Hmm.
quite few bit, it may be okay. I mean, I did that. My wife and we were separated for almost 3 years after marriage,
Okay.
but it paid for long term,
Right.
right? So that this is what I'm trying to tell you. Don't think for a small
Oh,
gain right now. Yeah. Because as I said, if you're going to wait for next 6 months or 1 year or so forth, then you won't be able to use that. Then you will have much bigger problem to take care of.
right. But the thing is, so like I told you, most of my papers got published only late after May, after the month of May. So the citations are also not higher, and there are
Mhm.
like a lot of papers in the pipeline.
No, no.
And
So what I'm trying to tell you is, I agree. I mean, every PhD has to go through. I was the same, right?
right.
So when I applied, actually, I was able to apply, I would say 2 years after my PhD, not immediately, because the
Okay.
lawyer told me you need that much citation and all that.
Right.
But again, as I said, talk to a lawyer, your case may be different.
Mm.
That's one. See,
Uh,
yeah, go ahead.
One more thing before you, not about, so the thing with postdoc, where I am finding, they say that I'll have to have a strong record of publication for, that's the requirement.
No, no, not really. See, usually postdoc is usually if you are trying to get a postdoc,
Hmm.
because postdocs are not like announced position, that like a faculty position, right? So like
Right.
you don't have like a committee and they make a, it's like a decision of advisor right away. If
Right.
advisor wants they, so it actually is more relevant if your advisor is going to speak to someone.
Okay.
Most of the postdocs are referral based. Like
Right.
I got a postdoc because my advisor used to know someone,
Okay.
right? So they are most of the time referral based, most of the time.
Okay.
Unlike faculty positions or industry position, because this is one guy who can take a decision. So if your
Okay.
advisor knows someone who needs a postdoc, he or she can tell that we are looking for a postdoc and all that. Because
Okay.
with the industry right now, I have my, you are from RTA, right?
RIT.
RIT.
Hmm.
That's okay. That's very different. But I would say, and then you talked about a Canadian postdoc and all that. That is
Right.
also not a bad option, to be honest.
Okay.
Then the reason I say so, because you will get a Canada PR right away. much
Okay.
easier right away. So let's say
Okay.
if you apply for a postdoc in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
if you're able to get it, I think you can get residency within within a year or so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's much easier, way easier.
Easier.
Yeah, way easier. And then your better half can go there and do whatever you guys want.
Okay.
But again, if you want to stay here, it would be because you have already gone through this hardship of PhD, right?
Right.
I think a little bit push can make your life much easier. But if you don't do that, see, the thing is that if you are able to find a job in an industry, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
then it's okay, because in industry you can apply for a for a green card and all that,
Right.
right? But it will always depend on that, whether you are able to find an industry position and whether that industry is able to support the green card application.
Okay.
And even though looking at your CV, I'm not sure what type of job you can find in West Coast, because most of the jobs are IT based and all that,
Right.
right? So it would be definite, because you have a core sector, you have a
Right.
specialization in some area. So I mean, I don't know whether how easy would be for you to find a job out there. That's why I'm saying the postdoc, because
No,
postdocs
I
gonna give
agree
you.
with you because all the openings that I see in the pharma sector, most of them here are startups, and people, the startups are usually from the UC system.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
So they typically tend to take their students, and
yeah.
that's where I'm having a problem finding.
And also, they're not gonna be supportive of visas and all that. Or you have to remember
Okay.
that too. They are
Right.
not, because they are not there to say, okay, we can apply for your visas or thing. So you have to work on your OPT
Okay.
with them, right? So and
Right.
then right now, the reason I say so, you said October is your deadline, right?
October 9th is my thing start, my OPT is starting.
Oh, it starts. Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
October, how many days you have to?
90 days. So somewhere around 5th or 7th of January
January.
from,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
So you have time then. Okay,
But
but
what I'm
again,
worried is once the Thanksgiving season sets in, then things slow down.
no, no, not only Thanksgiving. I mean,
Mm.
see, to be honest with you,
Mm.
the elections are coming, right?
Right.
And a lot of things. So till November, I don't see that much can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you said, Thanksgiving, and because nobody works on that anyway,
Right.
right? So after, I would say not even Thanksgiving, after Halloween, everything is shut down
Shut
almost
down.
till
Correct.
Christmas, right?
Right.
So nothing will happen, no hiring, nothing. So yeah, you could be. But as you said, to be honest with you, I when I speak to you, you said, you want, your desire is to be on the West Coast. I don't think you should put that restriction,
Okay.
because another reason I tell you, and this happened to one of my friend actually. So his wife used to work in Portland, and he used to
Okay.
work in Boston, like
Okay.
apart, right? And then he was able to get a green card from his company, and his wife was not, just like your husband.
Okay.
And so once he got a green card, then he moved.
Okay.
But he has to wait, I think, 1.5 years. So what I'm saying is, I think if there's an option out there that allows you to get a green card, I think that should be your primary objective. That's all
Okay.
I'm saying. Don't think about I have to stay there. No, no. Think about how I can get my green card. What is the best possible way to do it? Because you can, you don't have to work or have to worry about a lot of things if you get a green card.
Right.
And same goes for your spouse. Then he doesn't have to worry about whether I have to work for this company or that company.
Right.
So that life would be much easier, because anything can happen. I mean, things that happened to me where I have lost my job, but then I don't have to worry.
Right.
So these things will happen, and trust me, use your PhD to get green card.
Okay.
Think nothing else, nothing else. That should be your goal right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the paper, everything you have done, that will come out. But at the same time, I would say, for you getting a green card would be easier if you can find a job in an industry and that is supportive of your green card. That would be easier, definitely. So what
Right.
I'm saying is keep your options open, apply, doesn't matter, apply wherever you want, get a job.
Okay.
And once you get it, within a month or two, apply for green card.
Green card.
Yeah, and then you should be fine. Because
Okay.
once you get it, then you don't have to worry.
Okay.
Yeah. Because as I said, and the other thing, and as I said, because you planned it right. You're just saying, the Thanksgiving can hit, and all that thing can happen. So you have to work everything beforehand,
Right.
right? And because once I'm thinking is, um, right now you are an OPT, you can get hired as a postdoc easily. You can work at any industry, but once that thing is over, then you will have to worry about extra trouble,
Right.
right? So don't I don't advise to do that. Use your PhD as a tool to get a green card now.
Okay.
Yeah, that should be your plan. But if, let's say, if that doesn't work out, at the same time keep your options open. Keep applying to Canada, let's say. Keep applying to postdoc. Tell your advisor, you will be open to work anywhere if you can get a postdoc. But I would definitely say, if you are able to find a job in industry. But
Mm-hmm.
again, one thing, remember, when you get a postdoc, make sure you don't, if they are saying we can apply for your visa for H1 or J1, don't do that. Work on OPT.
Okay.
Don't do that. Because,
Okay.
and the reason I tell you why, let's say you are an OPT and you do your postdoc, and let's say
Uh-huh.
after 6 months you are able to find a job in industry, you can move
Right.
because you have
Okay.
OPT. But if you're
Uh-huh.
an H1, you can't move.
Yeah, the university to the other.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because then you will need the industry to sponsor industry H1.
Okay.
Because the university H1 is different. It's not transferable.
Right.
So don't do that. Work on
Okay.
OPT. That's
Okay.
another mistake many people do.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that mistake. So that's the reason I'm telling you, don't do that. And the
Okay.
other thing will happen is, because you will be in OPT, working as a postdoc, you will be still considered student, your taxes will be low and all that. So don't worry too much about, that
Okay.
you need H1. No, say, I will work on my OPT. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't because as I said, let's say after 6 months you are able to find a job, you can move anytime.
Okay.
But once you are H1, you will be in trouble. Like you are like, now I have to wait till April, and then once the H1 quota opens up, and it's a mess.
Right.
Yeah, it's a huge mess. So don't do that. That's my sincere advice. But try to,
Okay.
I think, again, as I said, evaluate your options. See
Mhm.
if you are able to, again, make a chart. Say, okay, August, September, October, and wait till deadline. You can say, okay, I will wait until this deadline, until I
Mhm.
go for option B or something. But have your options ready. Like option A could be, I will apply for industry positions no matter what. And and to do that, okay, why you are having trouble, why you're not getting job offers and all that. You can evaluate that. Okay, is there something problem with my resume? uh, am I applying in the right way or not, and things like that.
Mhm.
But definitely I will say, applying, getting an industry position as of now, as an international student, is definitely tough.
Okay.
That's so, don't give yourself a blame. It's
Mhm.
just the way the situation is.
Situations. Okay.
But how you can make it better and all that, many times I talk in my videos that make sure your resume looks more versatile. When I
Okay.
say versatile, I mean, um, it should look like you are the person who can do everything.
Okay.
Try to make it more diverse. Don't be specific, right?
Okay.
So the second thing that I always talk about is, if you can have 4 resumes, 5 resumes, that's better. So
Okay.
let's say if you have one resume that talks about you, Purnima, as a PhD chemical engineer, a specific specialization in that area, that's one, right?
Okay.
Then you have a second one where you say you are more diverse. You can work as a material science, you can work as this and that, right? That's more cleaned out. diverse. So, and the third one could be different. If you see a job as for a processing engineer in Intel, my sincere advice to you would be, let's say you go to Indeed or Glassdoor, any website, right, where jobs are, and you see a job of a process engineer Intel, let's say. Read the basic qualifications, read the desired qualification, and see if your resume is able to answer those questions.
Okay.
If your resume is, if they say, have you worked in the area, or do you know NMR, and your resume says no, of course that's
Right.
not good. So what I'm saying, it should be like an answer book. Exactly.
Okay.
It should be like that. Okay, basic qualification, PhD, tick. 5 years of experience, tick. NMR spectroscopy, tick. Have worked in the lab for characterization, tick. It should be exactly like that. That
Okay.
because that's how I have made my chances much better. I have done,
Okay.
I have, there were 2 times that I have lost my job, but then I don't, but then I, improved on how to make it, my count better. And I think the way I came up is, the more you are able to answer the questions mentioned in the qualification, the better it is. And after that, my success rate has went up from, like, I don't know any company where I was not even was able to have an online interview or on-site interview.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate enough to give a lot of interviews, and that is based on, that's what based on I'm saying, that's how
Okay.
it is. So make sure it will be like question answer, exactly like that. Even if you're not able to answer even one, that could go negative. And
Right.
and many people, they do that mistake, like they wake up in the morning and they're like, okay, upload resume. No, no, no. Select, let's say you, before you go to bed or something, you say, okay, let me check what the jobs are there, and you select 15 of them, let's say. Next
Okay.
day, out of those 15, read them again. You said, okay, out
Okay.
of these 15, 75% are the one which matches my resume. Select those. Let's say there are 5 of them. Work really hard to make those resumes, those 5 specific jobs, and be very careful applying to those. You will see your chances going to go up.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't upload, because trust me, everybody's doing that right now, and not a good thing, especially for PhDs. Not a good thing.
Okay.
And so that's about, how to increase your chances to get a, get a job. And the second thing I would say, plan B would be apply for postdoc in US.
Okay.
Doesn't matter where.
Okay.
Right?
So that would involve mostly that comes in a referral position, and talking to my advisor would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
the best.
yeah. Talking to advisor or your committee members or anybody, because
Okay.
if you are going to apply on your own, the chances are, I'm telling you, the chances are like 99 to 10%.
Okay.
If your advisor knows someone, you will be admitted right away.
Okay.
And this is the reason why I'm saying, and then when you go there, make sure you are not able to, you're not applying for visa. Go on OPT. And once you're
Okay.
there on OPT, keep applying for jobs.
Okay.
This would help you to make sure you don't have a gap year or break year. And at the same time, you are able to, you are in the system applying for jobs and